passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dreams. As I look upon my life, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dream.
Good morning, everybody. Greetings to you once again. I would really love you to subscribe and also hit that bell if you did not do that yet. Come on now, don't delay because you're going to miss out a lot of things that's happening on the Inside Show. Well, you're on the Inside Show with Talk with Joan Thursdays. And so today we are talking something that is very close to my heart, and that is education. So we want to actually try and help our students how to actually apply to universities, apply for a bursary or whatever, because I know there's a great need in our communities at this stage, where people don't even know how to apply. So I have with me in the studio beautiful young ladies, and also I have Dr. Kathy who's going to help me, and also Lady S from UJ, and then we can also tap in to Chantel, who is at UNISA. So Dr. Kathy is from the department, guys. So we just want to actually try and help you out there. And I hope that parents today will really catch this thing. And if you can, go onto YouTube. I've actually put on Facebook the link that you can actually tune in. So if you don't know where to go and find, it's Joan Hendricks right on Facebook, and you will see the link on there. Click on the link and you will be on the show live, right? So that is what you can do today. We really want to help our students to apply. If you don't have, come on now, you know what is the signature of Talk with Joan, and you know it's the mirror, right? Because this mirror talks a lot of things every day when you look into the mirror. And I know if we're depressed, we don't even want to look into the mirror because that spirit is not high and things are not lack. And so now, and the mirror talks to you. So that is our signature on Talk with Joan today. And so I'm going to ask my guest, as you know, and if you have your mirror, please take it out. Don't hesitate, guys. Let that mirror speak back at you, right? So today we really want to ask our guest on the show, tell me a little bit, ladies, what's that girl saying who's looking at you in that mirror?
Good morning, everybody. I'm no stranger on the show. It's awesome to be here today. So what my mirror said to me is, girl, you need to do something about your hair. I want to braid my hair because I'm going to go into a busy season. October, November is my busy working season, as well as myself writing exams and so on. So I don't have time for hair. So this mirror said, girl, sort your hair out so that you can be ready, steady, and go.
Right. Dr. Kathy is with us. What is that girl saying?
Good morning, everybody. So I'm Kathleen. So the mirror is saying to Kathleen, wow, girl, you did well this morning because I normally work from home and I don't normally look so polished.
Right. And then we have two beautiful ladies on the first time on the show. So we want to ask Sanif, maybe you can tell us what's that girl saying to you.
Okay. Good morning. Today the mirror is saying that you're empowered, you're sitting with beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I'm empowered, I'm happy, I'm blessed.
Yes.
So, and I look beautiful.
Thank you. Yes, you do. And Lamish?
Good morning, everybody. This morning the mirror is telling me, have faith, persevere, keep strong, and just always believe in God's journey.
Yeah, good girl. Right, beloved. So yes, I actually, the saying that goes, it takes a village to raise a child, right? And that is really my heart. I really honestly have education so close to my heart to help our children, as I said earlier. And therefore, I did some sort of research by just talking to parents and talking to students who are in grade 11 and 12, actually just to tell us, to tell me what are they going to study, right? And did they apply as yet? And to my surprise, there's so many who don't even know what they want to study, and also who don't know how to apply. Therefore, I found it fit for the show. I, myself and Lady S and Chantel always spoke about this, and once we had Dr. Kathy on the show, and we actually collaborated, and we spoke about these things, and we see that the need is enormous. So that is why we have this tutorial show today. And we're going to ask Dr. Kathleen, if you can just tell us a little bit about what do you think is the role, because I found that not even the teachers knows how to apply, how to help our students to apply. So what will you say on that?
Okay, so I will start by saying I agree with you that it does, take a village to raise kids, and that comes with education. We have different partnerships in education, and for me, the most important person in that partnership, apart from the learner, the student, would be the parent or the caregiver. So as parents, it is your responsibility, to make sure that this is your child, and your child's got a vision or dream for herself, and you need to make sure that you find the proper resources to channel your child. So then we get to the school, which plays a major role. So in high school, they do have, since, in primary school, they have life orientation, which is, what we used to have. It's a combination of life skills. It's about personal well-being, your social well-being, and also some career guidance. So that is important, that is the role of a life orientation teacher, especially in high school. I know in grade 9, schools, kids are given the opportunity to select subjects for grade 10 and 11 and 12 that would be needed for them if they want to go to university, dependent on if they want to go into the science field or commerce field. They will make those decisions in grade 9. And that is where some schools, so we also need to bear in mind that we do have privileged schools. We also have underprivileged resource schools. So your privileged schools might be in a position to, in a grade 9, to have a parents' evening where they can invite institutions. So like people from UJ, from the marketing, or from WITS, the neighboring universities, and they will have people that would come out, will explain to parents and to kids that, this is the different subject streams. If you want to go into medicine, if you want to go into the sciences, these are the subject streams. And at that meeting, they will explain the APS system. So as early as, grade 9, some kids, are exposed to that. In the case where we have 60% of our school population that we would say is under-resourced or underprivileged, that is where we need, a stronger partnership where teachers have to take that responsibility to inform and equip kids. But I will say that, it comes back to the parent, that you need to make sure that, you get the proper information for your child. Also not exempting the student, because they are definitely techno savvy. They have...
yeah, it's true.
They have Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi is like the next thing to bread. So they must have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So, and they can for themselves also go on to university websites to find out if they are not if it doesn't make sense, there are call centers at university, or then they can go to the teacher, or they can, ask their parent for somebody to help and explain. But it is the responsibility, I think for me, it starts at home. And if, we do, and I know many parents are not educated, but reach out to the teacher and say, can you please direct us in the correct channels and where we need to go to find out.
Right, now you actually heard from Dr. Kathleen that she has a mouthful to say, and therefore at this stage I did not ask you to actually introduce yourself. So if you can just introduce yourself so people can at least know who you are and where you're from.
Okay, so I am a lecturer at the University of Johannesburg in education, and so education is also very close to my heart. And I train teacher students, people who's starting to become teachers. So education is very close to my heart, and it is a holistic view on education. So you can't just look at one. So that's why, I had a whole mouthful. So I come more from the education side.
Yes. And this was a teacher too. So Lady S, if you can introduce yourself and then just tell me your view.
Okay, I'm Sonia Vorster. I'm also working at the University of Johannesburg, and I'm a part-time life coach, doing professional life coaching on the side. And Dr. Katie, when I sent the poster to some of my groups, one person was saying, Lady S, is that a legit doctor? Because they know how I feel about being doctors. And I said, yes, Google her. I didn't say, okay, she's working at Huge. I just say Google her name. So I should just think I throw this in this morning. We have a legit doctor in the house.
Oh, yeah.
And Dr. Katie is awesome. I'm so honored that I know you're working for UJ. And I would really just add on what Dr. Katie said is, this whole topic is so dear to my heart. Don't know how I feel about it. I'm out there to assist our children in the village,
Yes.
I'll go the extra mile to assist. And just week I had my WhatsApp inbox is overloaded with queries, and by the grace of God I managed to really assist most of the children. Like Dr. Katie said, some of the parents does not know certain things, and it's also for you that know things to avail yourself,
Absolutely.
to announce, to be
Yes.
visible, so people can get the information, because it's not something that you can hold to yourself.
Yes.
So that is what I like about, what I'm doing in my little corner, taking time out to announce that I can assist, that announce that I can help. And this week I was even helping one of the schools, So it's just really so dear to my heart, and I'm so passionate about it, to assist our students and to let them know that there is possibilities. Because sometimes they look at one opportunity and maybe they don't get into university, but there is many opportunities. So for me coming in and help them, I want them to feel like it's never too late, it's never too early, you're always on time. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to study.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Right, so we're going to go over to Sanif. Introduce yourself, please.
I'm Sanif Parki, 19 years old. I was part of the class of 2020. I matriculated at Rangel School, and I so dearly want to go into the education field and study education, because I feel like I just want to give children the knowledge that I'm going to gain today, that you have to know where you want to go in life, and that's what I want to do. And I applied at UNISA, but I'm here today because I want to go through the process of applying at NSFAS, because I didn't do that yet. So, yes.
Right, thank you so much. And then we have Lamesh with us. If you can just introduce yourself, Angel, and just tell us why you're here.
Good morning, everyone. Like I said before, I am Lamish Brown. I am 24 years old. I am also class of 2021. I completed my matric by a community college. It's in El Park, a very good college that gives people like me second chance to improve our life. I came here today to also find out more about the process of applying at universities and also to gain knowledge about about how to apply for bursaries and opportunities for bursaries. And then, yeah, I also want to go into the field of education because teaching is my passion. I want to be that motivation for so many young children that grow up in underprivileged communities. And I feel like if it can take one person to change mindsets of only two people, you have made a big difference. So, yeah.
Okay, Namish, while I'm on you at the moment, if you can just tell us a little bit about your story.
My story.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm born and bred in a township called Eldorado Park. So, I used to attend high school at the normal mainstream school, Lanchavel Secondary.
Okay.
But then, unfortunately, ways of society got to me. So I was forced to drop out of school as I became, I don't like to say a victim, but yeah, I fell pregnant as a
Okay.
teenager. So life was a bit challenging to go back to school with a newborn baby. So I was forced to literally just drop out. But 3 years ago, I decided, no, wait, this is not going to be the end of me. This is not going to be my life. I looked at my child and I'm like, no, God has something greater for me. And let me be that motivation to so many young girls out there that thinks when you fall pregnant at a young age, it's the end of your life.
Yeah.
So I went to the community college. I enrolled myself in there. It was very difficult trying to complete my school while being a mom at
So
the same
at
time.
what grade did you fall out?
At grade 10.
Okay.
Grade 10, yeah.
So you had to do grade 11 and 12, or did you just go straight to...
Okay, at the college, at the community college, they have like their level 4.
Okay.
So the level 4 is their own subjects, which includes things like ancillary healthcare, which gives you a introspective on health, basically, like how to do home care based work, and then also ECD, early childhood development, and then you'll get your subjects that you do at mainstream schools, such as life orientation, English, and EMS, but just the EMS that they give you is in level 4.
Okay.
Yeah. So after that, when you pass there, then they register you to do your matric. So I did my matric. I completed it this year. I'm so happy that I got the strength, and I'm very proud of myself.
Salute you. We're proud of you. Thank you for actually going that extra mile. Because a lot of girls feel that when they fall pregnant, that's the end.
Yes.
Yes. And you can carry on.
You can.
I salute you for that.
You need to have that self-determination. And there's this saying that I like, the place that you're in, your circumstances and your situation that you are in today does not define your tomorrow.
Absolutely.
You should always pick yourself up. Don't ever fall prey to feeling you are hopeless or that this is the way your life should be. There is so much out here, and there's so much we all can do for a better life.
Yeah, can we give a applause there? Thank you. And then your story.
I grew up in a home with my mom, my brother, my sister, and a single mother. And as a single mother, I watched my mother break a back off for me. Like, I attended school in Eldorado Park, and my mom didn't like it. She knew that this is not the education she wanted for me. So by all means, she made sure that I got into a private school. And because I didn't know where I'm going, and I didn't know exactly what I want to do with my life after school, I didn't actually pay much attention to school, so I was just going for the sake of getting it done with. And now that I matriculated last year and I'm at home, and I actually realized that I want to educate children, because most children think that when you get out of school, you just have to get a job and like maintain yourself. But the most important thing is education, like keep
Absolutely.
learning. Never stop learning, because that's the best we are to learn.
Absolutely.
So I love this opportunity now for the Yelp and for the
Would you say there's a lot of girls out there that actually just want to live? They just live for the sake of
Exactly. You don't
living
know
and
because
don't know what
you grow up in the circumstance. Like my sister, right after school, she went to work, and that's how it's been. And you lose your job along the way because they retrench people. It was COVID. So I just think that once you have education, you have your degree, you can go
Yes.
anywhere and do what you want to do. So yeah, that's what I want for myself. I really want to get my degree. I'm so passionate about teaching.
Awesome,
Yeah.
wonderful. So we have the right people on this panel here today, guys, due to the fact that Dr. Kathy is actually a lecturer for teaching. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
that's
So,
good.
and that is at UJ. And then we have UNISA also, and that's where you apply to. So yeah, we're gonna go into it right now at this very moment. So we're gonna get over. You know what? What I wanna ask you, Dr. Kathy, is the fact that what do you think is important for parents to know? Or actually also students who don't know after matric what to do, because I don't know, this is bothering me. How do they find out? Like, Lady S, I asked you this question. Does the varsity still have that a survey, or what do they call it?
I think it's like
The career, the
skills.
career where you can do career choices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Just to see where your strengths are.
So they do.
Aptitude test.
So that is should be done in grade 9 because of the subjects that you're going to choose in grade 10. So it starts as early as grade 9. So that is.
So does the school
important.
still have that?
I suppose.
In
No,
LO? In
no.
LO?
So I am always going to bring in, because we are a very disparate society when it comes to education. So I'm always going to dichotomize between the haves and the have-nots.
Okay.
So your haves would be schools, like I know the school my daughter went to.
Yeah.
They in the means, because the school fees that you pay allows for those services.
Okay.
So they in a means, so
I'm with
those
you.
kids would do an aptitude test.
Right.
But they are also not very accurate. So, it would give you, and it depends. And like she said, that she really didn't know. So I'm sorry, I'm a parent myself, and I'm an academic and educationist. So I'm going to go back to the home. What is the value system? Is there, an inculturation of, education is important, whether there's money or not. I'm very aware. I also grew up where I wanted to study, and there wasn't money for me to go and study, to go to university. But the
And I
values...
was also a single parent, though.
But also I knew the value of education, and I had that because it was instilled, from my grandmother, from grade 1, that education is important. I knew that I wanted to study, but I also was very aware that there isn't money. But knowing that there's no money should not stop you.
Absolutely.
Right.
You need to prepare,
Right.
because there's always hope. And now it's even better with the national funding system, there are financial support from the government for kids who's not in
And
the
I think a
means.
lot of parents and students don't know that, right?
Yeah.
In the community per se, some know, but
Yes.
there's a lot of our children that don't even know that they can actually apply for a bursary. So now, without wasting any time, guys, let us go into this thing because our time is running fast. You know what time is? Time is very important. So let's not waste any time. We want to go into with Lamish, if you maybe can, Lady S, if you can take us through the system, and you guys are going to tell us what do you first need to qualify for, like they both want to study teaching. What do you first need? Seeing that we have teachers on here, to qualify for teaching.
Okay, I will ask Dr. Katie just to bring out from the from UJ side, what is our requirements and why many of our children not getting acceptance at UJ for education. It's not because of the race, it's not because of the background, but there is certain requirements and standards. Dr. Katie, if you can just...
Okay, so for the education, so we have the primary school qualification, and you have senior phase, which is grade 7 to 9, and then you have FET, which is 10 to 12. So I am based in the primary school, where we look at the foundation phase and intermediate phase. So the minimum APS is 26, okay? So obviously, you need to have a bachelor, so that's your first criteria. And over and above that, then you have to look at your symbols that you're going to get. So a part of the minimum requirement is for English, you need to get a minimum of 60%. The reason for that is that your home language should be very strong, because you're going to enter an academic field. So apart from learning to teach, you are going to learn to do research, you have to read academic articles, so it is important. That's the need for a 60% in English. Also in the primary school, so I just want to, clear the myth that people think that in the past, when you wanted to study teaching, you could go to a college.
College, yeah.
And it wasn't so, the requirements wasn't so hectic. But because you are going to obtain a degree, the requirements should be the same for in line with any other degree, whether it's accounting, commerce degree. So then, in the primary school also, you need to have, because we have math science and you have maths literacy, so you need 60%, a minimum of 60% for maths literacy, and a minimum of 40 to 50 for math science. So another myth is that people think like, okay, you're going to teach little kids grade 1, 2, and 3. You don't really need to know maths, which is a myth. You need to know mathematical thinking, and you need to have that prior knowledge. So those are the minimum requirements that you need to meet at UJ for teaching. Obviously, in the FET phase, if you're going to specialize in becoming a maths teacher for grade 12, there you would need a minimum of 70% in your matric results, even for science and your economics and all those, because you're going to become a specialist in that. So you really need to know your content. And then when you get into the program, then you learn how to teach it, but you need to know the content. You can't teach what you do not know.
No.
Right, so that is very important, due to the fact that the pass rate in schools, a lot of children just try to pass, just to make it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then they want to go study further. You find children that wants to go study, but they just want to pass. They just want to pass.
You can't.
And that you can never do, right? You have to set a goal for yourself, am I right?
Yes.
Whereby you actually, like you said, because you are in the system, you knew that your daughter have to target a certain percentage,
Yes.
right? So there's children out there that don't know, parents out there that don't know, even though the pass rate is 30%, right, which was extremely low in South Africa, because with us it was at least, at the 60s, you had to, it was 45 afterwards, right? that it came down. But now it's 30%. It's too low, I think. And now you get to university, and the university wants 60%. So guys, which means there's that communication gap, right? So now we are actually educating you to tell you, please target for 60 and above.
Yes. Yes.
And if you have that intelligent mind, right? And you have it, you do have it. Go for the 70s and the 80s. And hit it, man, so that you can get, because you get the bursary, right, straight away.
Yeah.
I mean,
When you have
am I right?
Yeah, and we have, I think, in 6 of your subjects, when you obtain above 70, distinctions in matric.
Awesome. So guys, it's really out there that you can make it, right? And then we get to the APS scores, right? Which is very important, because I now and then get calls, and then I refer them to these ladies, especially Lady S and Chantel, who is at UNISA, and then she have to come back and say, sorry, Joan, I can't help you because APS is supposed to be A, B, and C.
Yeah.
And then I say, they just need just one mark. At least, don't you, guys, just give them that one mark. But it's not school, guys. This is university. So let's get the thing straight.
Yes.
And let us try and help you, seeing that we don't have a lot of time on the show per se. But we will have anything, our producer will actually put a number down just to tell you how we can get, because there's such a great need, no? And I think yesterday I received a message that UJ is actually extending the application date. So it's not the end of September, it's the end of October now. So guys, you still have a month. Please, I beg of you, please, don't waste your time at home. Go for education, I beg of you. Man, if you can just hear me today as a mother, go for education. It's the only way that you're going to succeed in life. So let us go into that with Lamesha's application, right? APS scores, does she qualify, and so on and so on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, what I did is before the show, I look at Lami's documents and matric results, and I explained to her that she do not qualify to apply at UJ because of APS score is too low, and she does not have a 60% in English, as Dr. Ketty was saying also, and her overall APS score does not come to 26. But then she said to me she did apply at UNISA before, but the application didn't went through. And when I look at the APS score and I notice, okay, she does meet the requirements to apply for the foundation.
So the foundation phase in UNISA is at 23, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I researched that yesterday, because I know someone had a query on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me just go into my system. Sorry. Okay. So as you can see on the screen, the Bachelor of Education and Foundation phase teaching at UNISA, she needs to have a 23, which she does have. And what actually advantage Lamise have is she have a child to take care of afterwards, and I explained to her the benefits of studying at UNISA is you're studying at your own pace, because you don't have that stress of going into classes, because I know with us at UJ we're going back to the classroom and you have to attend classes physically. So it's really for students who are just concentrating on their studies, they don't have other things. So with her, she can take care of a baby, she can balance her things to do her assignments and stuff like that. So it's actually the best choice at this moment that she have. It's like she said, she could have feel like, you know what, there's no other way out. And just for the fact that she have obtained a qualification through the community college, it's really for me awesome that she taking it a step further. So Lamise, because you meet the requirements, can we go ahead and do your application? And you said you have started, but the application never went through. But today I want us to do your application from scratch and just see how far we get with your application. So what we're going to do
before we do that, if you can just give us quickly the UJ thingy to go in, a page to go into, and then also the UNISA one.
For the
For whoever wants to apply.
Application.
So
Okay.
it's UJ something.
Yeah.
WW.
Applications, yeah.
It's
Whatever.
let me just go see I think I have it here on my thing even. UJ. Nope. Okay, I have UNISA. So normally what I normally advise students, because everybody know Google. I said, go to your Google. Okay, let's go in. Is it opening?
Yeah.
Yes. The easier way is go to your Google and put in, for instance, UJ application. And then it will say to you, apply academic UJ education. So anyway you go in, it will throw you out to the UJ application. Let me just go in. But there is a website, www.uj.ac.za. But if you go to Google, it will throw you out to the application site. Why is it taking so long? Okay, it brings me out to another site now. I didn't want this one. Okay.
But you see, if the students are going to do it, you must go the direction that they're going to use.
No, why is my screen so double?
Oh, I see.
See? Why is it like that?
I think it's something to do with the connectivity. to
Yeah,
the
I think so,
monitor
because
screen.
my screen is not lekker. Let me just see UJ. Okay, you see there it throws out UJ applications. Apply it UJ, there it goes.
Right, then you
Okay.
apply to UJ and then
Then
you go.
no, you open this page now,
Right.
and then it will say to you, applications open 1st April of the year preceding the year of intending study and closes on the 31st of October. So there already it shows you what time on the 31st.
At 12
So you
o'clock
can't
noon.
apply at 4 o'clock.
Right.
Okay, and I know what you just said, they meant it. And then they said apply online by clicking on the following link. So yeah, you go and you apply. So,
Okay.
for current students that in the system, like myself and students study at UJ, if you want to apply for another qualification, then you will go into returning or internal application.
Right.
Okay, for a brand new student who'd like to
to
apply,
new
you go to
applicant.
new applicant. You click on new applicant and you wait for it to open. And then they will ask you the first question. Do you already have a student number? No, of course not, because you want to, there's something with the connectivity. I can't see my yes and da.
But it doesn't matter. Okay, so
Okay.
now the students know
Yeah,
that's for
that-
UJ.
yeah.
So let us go into the thingy for
For
Lamish,
UNISA.
for UNISA.
Okay, let me
And
just,
then we do, so for UNISA we go also www.unisa.ac.za.
yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you get here to apply at UNISA. So Lamie is going to do an undergrad qualification.
Right.
So that is also the issue. Sometimes students don't know the difference between postgraduate and undergraduate. Undergraduate is when you just start to apply for a qualification.
Right,
Your
right.
diploma, your entry level,
Right.
your diplomas, your higher certificates, your degrees. Am I right, Dr. Kathleen?
Mm-hmm.
So that is falling under undergrad. So here also it says to the student, applications open from 11 August to 15 October. So now you know, okay, I'm still in the time frame. I can
Right.
apply for my application. And then you go, you want to apply for undergrad, you click on undergrad, and you go here. John, I think we have a serious problem with the connectivity because I can't clearly see the things that I have to see. Can we just put it out and try to put it in again so that we can just be able to see?
Okay, while we're doing that, right, in teaching, Dr. Katz, what would you say is important for these students to know? What will you tell them?
And it was right. Alea.
Okay, so If they,
Okay, let me close that thing.
so
Let me
work
just
ethic
go.
is very important. So if you're going to become a first year student, so work ethic is very important. So you come from different schooling backgrounds. So you come from a community center. So like I would say, your work ethic is very important because it can become very hectic, academically. And it just, both of you say you're passionate about it and you love it. Just be open to the learning experience and try to make sense and apply, what you learn. You have a child, so it's going to be fun for you if you learn the theories, and you can actually, you will, as a mother, you will try to monitor that in your child to see the developmental stages. So there is a lot to teaching that they learn. There is some psychology that you learn because you need to learn about how kids develop, how they learn, and then obviously there is the content and the how to teach. So it is a very exciting and it's a very beautiful profession to be in. So if both of you said that, you have the opportunity to impact and to change lives, especially in the foundation phase. So if you think about in grade R and grade 1, those kids don't have any formal, there might be some, but that you have that opportunity to get them, to teach them to read, to count. So it is a very rewarding and fulfilling profession.
Right, thank you. Lady S, are you ready? Because our time is running very fast.
I don't know why the thing doesn't connect properly, but let's go again. I try to go out and go in again. Seems like we're gonna get start the process, okay? Okay, we're in now. I hope it's gonna give us that apply for admission. So like I said, here we're gonna start applying now. Follow me. So it says apply. Let's wait. Okay, we apply for undergraduate. Like as I said, they ask you the same question. Do you already have a student number? And she said no. So Louise, I will ask you to come on this side if she can.
Yeah, okay.
So that you can just complete the details, because I prefer normally for students to do it themselves,
okay.
because so that they can become familiar with the system, with the feel of it. Okay.
Can I just ask in terms of the Poppy Act, because this is going to be, on just in terms of privacy, the Poppy Act. So I don't think that we could actually. It's true what Dr. Katie said. So maybe what we can do is we just show the people, and then just after
the show we can just do it.
Yeah, it's true what Dr. Katie said. It's definitely true.
Okay.
Because it is one of the problems we also have according to the Poppy Act. As parents, they can't request results on behalf of their children at the university, even if it's your child. Because I can come into a big problem, because if you want your results, because now she's gonna put in her details and the whole world is gonna see her details. So it makes sense. So we can just take through and then we can do it afterwards. Are you fine with that, Pastor Johnny?
Yeah, no, I'm
okay.
good.
I actually forgot about that, Dr. Katie. You see
Yeah,
why you the doctor and we are just so mama and it, you understand?
That's why you had to tell me, you see?
I forgot. I totally forgot about the Poppy Act. Dr. Katie, thank you so much for reminding me. So, like we said, the same thing. We just go through it. So we click on continue, and here, that is where they won't take us further, because at the end of the day, you need to put in information so that the system can take you to the next block. But what I know about UNISA system is the next block is going to request us for your residential information, your address, where you're staying, where you're residing, because it's important for them to know that, so that they can send you study material, whether they need to send your study material to your postal address or they need to send your study material to your home address, okay? The next block they're going to request is your qualification, okay? Like we said, your matric qualification. you need to then go to the next block whereby you're going to upload your documents. It's the same with the UJ system. The uploading is very important because they need to see, okay, this child is in grade 11, this child have obtained the matric results so that they can see whether you meet the requirements or not. And like Dr. Katie said the other day, yesterday I think on the message, is if your requirements is low, you're not meeting the requirements, at UJ the system kick it out immediately as decline.
Okay.
And that's why
That's
people
why they rejected.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
And that's why people get rejected and people are like, oh, how is that possible? Because the system can pick up that APS score that you needed to have. That is not according to your matric
And even if they
results.
just look at your marks, your percentage
Yes,
in your English,
exactly.
then it already
already-
throws
Yeah,
out.
it does
money.
Definitely.
Modification.
So the last process I know with the system is normally whereby you upload your documents, and after you upload the documents, they would send you a message and say email communication and say they have received your application. But if you have not paid at UNISA for your application, because it's 110, 120, if you have not made payment, your application is not valid. So you have to make that payment before your application can be valid. That is at UNISA. But with UJ is you don't pay for application. Your application, after you have completed everything, you have received your student number, you can go back in the system and then track your status of your application.
Can I mention something? Also, when you apply, you have to have your documents scanned out and certified.
Exactly.
Or, like, you can't take a picture of it because the document's gonna be too big. So just like letting them know.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
That's so
thank
true.
you. That's true, yeah.
Because people were like, I had a student
true.
yesterday that asked me to assist him, and I said, okay, how far are you in the process? And he said, no, I'm there and there and there. I said, okay, let's video call. And I said, but you don't have your documents
Scanned.
scanned and you don't have certified. And he's like, oh, okay, let me go to
Don't
the
know.
this cafe. You don't know.
Yeah, you see,
those
those are things that
Yeah.
people don't know.
Yeah. So
That
it
it needs
must
to
be.
be
It
certified
must be
before you
certified.
send it through.
Yes.
Right, so now I just want to say, guys, that the information will be in the description below. So if you maybe need any assistance. I'm going to also ask you, Lamesh, if you can maybe, we won't show your details on the screen as per the POPI Act. So we won't show it, but I would love you to actually complete it
Yes.
Yeah.
Today, yeah, what we
now,
Now,
while you are here. So you complete it, and we will not have it on screen though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then at least we win time in
Exactly.
doing that.
Exactly.
And then you can just carry on with explaining,
Yes,
and
explaining,
whatever
yeah.
you
Like
wanna.
through the
Yes,
process.
Yeah.
yes.
And
That's
then
a
just
great.
take her through the process.
Definitely.
What is the next
Next
step,
step, yeah.
and the next step, you
Yes,
know?
yeah.
So she can, in the meantime, do that.
That's
Thank
awesome.
I
you.
also have
Thank you.
another question. I applied at UJ, but UJ didn't get back to me. Like, it just said application wasn't. What did it say? I can't remember what it said, but they didn't get back to me saying whether I'm rejected or accepted.
If you are provisionally accepted, it would state provisionally accepted and you would get a provisional student number. So the status would say provisionally accepted.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
And
and
the
it
same
will say
applies for
rejected.
UJ.
It will say that your application was rejected, because I know one of the students that yesterday that I sent through to you guys, and you said no, the APS scores were low,
Yeah.
and then also the 60% on the English was low.
Low.
So hers did say that
Yeah, it's
sorry,
rejected,
it's
yeah.
rejected.
Yeah.
It depends also on when did the student apply. Because if she had applied the previous year, like 2019, and she had the outcome now, it's okay because it was rejected. But if you have applied currently for first year, they will always put you on provisionally accepted. Because I said last time in the show, they have this new thing now, Dr. Katie, they're waiting for all the matric results of the 2021 class, even if you have completed your matric in 2020. So you're competing now also with
So,
the class of 2021.
Oh, okay.
So even if you
Yes.
had the APS score and you meet the requirements, and the class of 2021 comes in, and there is people that have just 10% more than you. That student accepted and not you.
Oh, okay.
So it's a
That is why, don't you think then there, I would say don't take a gap year. What would you say?
No, I would also, it depends, like in which field you want to go, because it is really becoming difficult to get into universities. Because we have 26 universities in the country. We have UJ and WITS, that is, state universities in Gauteng, in Johannesburg. And let's just say each university can take about 10,000 first years. How many? Close to 1 million or more than half a million matriculants pass.
Rood, ja.
Yeah.
Hey! Sorry. Machtig. Sorry about that. Right, so it is that, so the percentage of the matriculants are more.
Yes, and it is becoming more easier, for people to get a university entrance just to meet that minimum qualification. So that's why there is the APS scores. And like I previously said, that meeting the minimum is also not a guarantee, because each faculty wants the best. So they are going to screen and they're going to rank according to APS, and they select from the highest. And once they've met the quota, there's going to be a cutoff. So let's say they cut off at 35 and you passed well, you got 34 as an APS, there's not going to be space for you.
Wow.
And that happens
And you
to
see,
many.
and I think that there is where the racial issue comes in, because then our parents and our students say,
yeah, and it's not
the case.
Because the admin people that's working with the selection, they're working with a student number, a provisional student number.
Right.
And it is a system where they just look at APS scores. So they would just, if I have 45, I'm going to be lucky, I'm going to be in the top, and I'm going to get a space.
Right.
So it's not to do with, race and all that. Also, it depends in which faculty, because you have a great influx in law, because you have the Bachelor of Arts where you can do law, and then you just have, your LLB. So that is a very popular qualification, and they have a huge influx
Yeah, I
in that.
noticed.
So
yeah.
space is very limited there, so they are going to screen. For other qualifications, they work with your NBTs, especially in the sciences. That's another factor, that you have to write the NBTs, and based on your APS and a combination of your NBT score, you will.
Now, what is
get
NBT
interest.
score?
It's a national benchmark test to benchmark matriculants. It's a national benchmark, so they look at your literacy skills and they look at mathematical skills.
Oh.
So if you want to go into the sciences, that would be major in looking a major factor determining entrance into an undergraduate program, like your medicine and your other fields in the pure sciences.
So there you have to have maths, pure
Yes.
maths.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can't do maths lit if you want to go into that field, into
Yes.
the meds field. Okay, very interesting.
Miss make progress. She have a student number now. We submit the documents. So what is going to be outstanding now is the payment. Nah. And the screen will say to her, pay online with your credit card or pay later. So she can pay later with EFT or pay it in the university account. So the importance to have a student number, because
So
when
what
you
is
do
the
payment,
what is the
you
cost
use
on
your,
there?
I think it's 110,
20.
120.
It's 120. So can we pay it now?
Let's go.
Well,
Can go so quick.
huh?
I just want to say, wow, they're busy with that. And I'm sure Lamise will say that it is not so difficult. And I think, for students, they should take ownership, and it's empowering to do your application yourself. So you have to figure it out. And that for me is also an indication, how serious you are. So students should do their own application. If you struggle, you can ask for help. But
That's true.
you can't,
fully agree.
say that you didn't have help. Figure it out. Like I said, they techno savvy. They can figure out
That's true.
their way around
Yeah,
a
they
computer.
are, yeah.
So they have to take that ownership
That's true.
to apply for themselves, because like Sonia said that, at university, you are solely responsible for your studies. There is no parent that can intervene.
Yes.
As a lecturer, I can't, no parent can come and talk and make excuse on behalf of you.
Right.
So it is important.
Yes.
You must take responsibility for your own career.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it's true what Dr. Katie said. I told Joan a story. I think my daughter is the first year, and she incorrectly submit questions instead of her answers on the system, on Turnitin. And she was calling me, Mommy, what should I do? And, she panicked. And I said to her, okay, as a student, what do you think you should do? And she said, okay, I must write an email to the lecturer. I said, yes.
Yeah.
So I could have taken that on my
And
own.
you could have
and
done
say,
that,
okay, I
yeah.
know your lecturer. Let me just ask him,
Yeah.
is it okay with
Yeah.
you? Because she said, but I'm scared you think maybe I submit late. I said, no. The lecturer can see on the system that you submit early and you submit the wrong things. So he asking you to resubmit and submit your questions.
Right.
So she could solve it herself, and like Dr. Katie said, I couldn't get in. Even if I work there, even if I know the lecture, she needs to take responsibility, and it's empowering on another level.
Yeah.
And the way she structured her email to the lecture, the English was, beyond
yeah.
me. I was like, oh my God,
So which means they can.
Yes.
So let us go back to Lamish.
Okay.
Tell me where you at now.
We add the payment. So we want to
So
know.
if you do the payment, and then what's the next?
The only thing now, when we do the payment, then we wait. Like
you wait for
her
reply.
For reply and say, okay, university have accept your application. You can for the qualification.
Will you be able to afford the 120, Angel? Can we do?
Yeah, probably next week. Yes.
Okay. Can I do a payment for you?
Yes, please.
Because I would really love to do
appreciate
that
it.
for you. If we can maybe just put a EFT through.
Yeah.
If I do the payment, I'm gonna send it through to you. From there, you take.
That's
you
right.
Take control.
So that's
right?
why I'm gonna say rather pay later, because pay later
Say
is we're gonna do it on a later stage. It's gonna throw it out to you on the email that they're gonna send to your email.
okay.
Yeah. So normally what they do, they send all the information to your email, and then
So
you
if I
can-
wanna pay for her now,
no, you can send it to her, and then she can pay it EFT on your NISA account.
no, I wanted to somehow put it in there.
But then we should have used your
Your account.
your credit card details,
Yeah.
because that's only pay now or pay later. So
So if you EFT it,
okay, if you EFT it, then you go in directly into your NISA account, and then we
so how am I gonna pay it to her now?
you can e-wallet it to her.
Can I e-wallet it to you?
Yeah, to your number.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you're
Okay.
gonna give it to me after that now?
Yeah, she can give it to you. So that will conclude the application. So she's waiting now. The next process is going to be the registration. And that is where the students is getting confused.
Yeah, the confusion was the application and the registration.
Because you only apply and then you register. So registration can also be tricky, because you have to sometimes, I know what you need, so also you have to choose modules. They will throw out all your modules on one system, and then you need to select your first semester modules and your second semester modules, okay? So with you, Jay, it's easy sometimes when you register, they register you only for your first semester modules.
Oh.
Yes.
So at your NISA, you choose.
Yeah. Sometimes they will throw it out and they will next to it say first semester, second semester, and they will say year modules. So UNISA also got some
And
year
how long
modules.
with UNISA, how long does it take for you to actually complete that?
3-4 years, it totally depends on you.
Oh,
Totally. But what I like about UNISA, they always have a longer gap because they are distant. They will always have like 5 years or 7 years. But I know with us at UJ, our credits only last for 5 years. Is it right, Dr. Katie?
But I won't advise them to take so long.
No.
Yeah.
That's why I said
No,
3.
you're getting
That's why I
older.
said 3 years. 3 years and get it
And
over and done
also,
with.
you know, that you're going to go and teach, so you need to, as soon as you qualify, get a post to teach. Also, just to mention that if you have a provisional acceptance, I don't know with UNISA, but with UJ, there is still the chance of you being declined
Yes.
because of space. So when it comes to registration, so after they have received the class of 2021, they've done the selection, you could get email to say, with regret, due to space, there's no space for you.
Yeah.
So
And that's why, Dr. Katie, we're sitting then with all that parents running to the university, getting upset and,
The
stampedes, because the university can only take a certain amount of students. They can only cap set 80 students, 100 students for specific qualifications. So they can't really go over that because students are subsidized and they can only take that amount of students for the subsidies. So that's why sometimes it's very important for parents to allow their children to apply at several other universities, as Dr. Katie said, and at other colleges. So to just let you know that at least I have a student number there at UNISA also, then I can register. So if you have not applied at UNISA, that is what's happening sometimes. A student have applied at UJ, you're not been accepted due to maybe your APS score, due to space restraint, something. Now you said, okay, can't they apply at UNISA? No, UNISA's applications have also already closed also.
Okay, so you have to, when you apply, can you apply for both then?
Exactly.
yes,
At the same time?
you can
Exactly.
apply at more
Okay.
than one institution.
More than one institution.
Okay.
And
Okay.
some students have options.
Yes.
Okay.
Depending on how well they pass. Because
Exactly.
they would get acceptance maybe from 2, and then they can decide where.
Right. So yes, guys, that's the end of the show now, and I just want to take the opportunity to thank you all for actually tuning in here this morning. I know there's a lot of you that say great show, great show. I just hope that everybody can actually just speak to your grade 7s, 7, 9s,
Yes.
your grade 7s.
9 and 10.
Very important grade 9s. It is vitally important for you to actually push your children into the right direction. What does the Bible say? The Bible say our children are as arrows in our quivers, and we can shoot them in the right direction. So it is vitally important for us as parents to actually also take that responsibility, and from grade 1, push them into the right direction. If you see that the child is nice and savvy and the child loves reading, don't you be tired if the child wants to read a book. I know I have grandchildren and I know how they want to read all the time. And so now you have to push them, because you know what? Seeing that they are willing to do it now, because reading is also one of the things that I see is a very great need in our communities, and therefore it is important for us to actually push our children also into those directions, the right directions. Guys, we came to the end of the show. We will actually, after the show, just help Sanif to just do her bursary and apply for.
But can you just say there, Joan, for people that want to apply, they need to apply now for NEFSAS also, because NEFSAS is also closing. And that is the problem that we do have with our children. Don't apply in time for NEFSAS, and they've been accepted at university. Sometimes they results are brilliant, but then they don't have money. They don't have funding. So it's now the time to apply for funding.
Yes. Okay, guys, you've heard that. Please, parents, students, apply early. Apply now for funding. It is vitally important for you. Let us tap into that funds, right? There's no excuse that you don't have money and your parents don't work. So our government is actually giving us the opportunity to study further. So come on, guys, no excuse any longer. I would just love to say thank you very much. Thank you to our panel here. Thank you for coming in. Thank you so much, Lamich, for coming in. Thank you, Sanif. We really appreciate you coming
It was
in.
nice being here.
Thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dr. Kathleen, for always stepping in when I need you the most, especially when it comes to education, guys. It's very important. And thank you to my friend, Lady S. You know how I feel about you, so yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it. So yes, thank you so very much, guys. I love you. God loves you best. Go in the peace of the Lord. Mwah.
Look upon my life. There's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living my dreams. As I look upon my life, there's a passion inside. Heaven knows I'm living